I took a job at Alcatraz, and I washed a lot of dishes, and I did some catering. So many odd jobs, and that kind of was part of the thing living there, was just trying to live. And it's like, if you're gonna do all the things, have fun, be a lost boy, then you still gotta give them gold to the pirates. If you don't, they're gonna take you back the hell out of there with them. And you gotta, like, I guess, pay for that somehow with your skin. So I was trying to be lost when I was working at Alcatraz. It's not like it was an actual prison, although they still had the bars and I still worked behind them. So it was definitely a comparison. Although what it really was at this point is a giant tourist attraction. This island out in the bay, with one building on top of another. There was a little store on the dock, and I would sell the people water, and they would come in on the big boat with their cameras and their shorts and their fanny packs. They really wear all those things. One day, there's two ladies from Fiji. Just before they even come around the corner, to hear them singing. And they were like so happy, so many colors and necklaces. And they come around the counter. They greeted me like nobody's ever greeted me. Like I was family already. And they invited me to come stay with them. And this was a place that they were trying to come to for so long. Then they would go. And then there would be the next one. And towards the end of the season, things took a turn. By then, I'd been in the city for, about a year. Being there and being enamored with everything. That's really the magic time. But it becomes much more real. One day, I'm riding my bike. Out of nowhere, the car pulls out, just clips me. I never could draw a car, but like the main point was just that it just knocked my ass over the street. Next thing I know, I'm sitting up. And there's this guy comes up out of nowhere on his bike. Like he's there and he's just immediately there. And he's like, dude, about to have a rough night, but the people are on the way. And you got this. And I've been there. And then he just disappeared. Just out of nowhere. But he was right. The paramedics were right there. But they weren't like Arkansas paramedics. They were pretty rough. Gave me quite a talk for not wearing a helmet, which I should have been wearing a helmet. Because what happened next was my trip to General Hospital. It was like such a hellish 15 hours of not knowing what's going on, what's the matter with you. One CT scan after another. And that place is just filled full of people trying to take some type of refuge from the city. Get a sandwich, yelling about it hour after hour, and then wanting mustard for a whole other hour. And I'm in the middle of all this with a fractured skull in a few places and a bubble in my brain, which explains all the CT scans. In all this confusion and a steady drip of morphine, I find myself, and there I am, eventually, they got the paperwork straightened out and figured out that I was a person and that, I was there and that I needed medical treatment and this required a doctor and some attention so that, they could write me a proper bill later. They got me to have a poo and eat some powdered eggs in no particular order so that we could mark those things off the list and get me out of there. And they were nice to suggest, since I didn't have insurance and I did have a head wound, that I might take some Tylenol. Dull the pain a bit. They did bandage me up pretty well. They should have bandaged me up better when I saw that bill. Oh boy. So that was a second blow in itself when I realized, like, I'm in deep. By then, the job was seasonal, and that was ending. The relationship I was in at the time was more and more complicated. That was a bad situation where I was pursuing art somehow, but I started seeing enough of what art meant there and to the people and the scene, what that was. I did not like it. I did not want to be a part of it. And I felt guilty for holding a paintbrush. And I put it down